Yes, sir. Bye. 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 Good evening. This is Dr. S. Venkana. Uh, Today, discuss about that uh, applied freshwater aquaculture, MSc second year. Now, this is syllabus. First one, fish fish breeding and seed production. Uh, the unit one, fish breeding and fish genetics. Second one, endocrinology of reproduction and breeding and common crop. And third unit is fish seed production technology. Fish seed production technology. And block two is next one, Freshwater aquaculture production technology. So, how to maintain the freshwater aquaculture production technology? And the fourth unit is extensive, semi-intensive, and intensive culture systems of crop. Then fifth unit is freshwater fawn culture. The scientific name is Microbium rosenbergi. Then sixth unit, culture of feral. And unit seven, culture of natural foods and Daphnia, Artemia, zooplankton, and phytoplankton. And unit 8 is aquaculture, farm design, and construction. So, next one, block 3, production system management. Freshwater fish, unit 9, freshwater fish farm and management. And unit 10, water and soil quality management. And unit 11, fish feed and feeding strategies. Block 4th, pine fish pathology. Pinfish pathology. Unit 12A, infectious disease, viruses, bacteria, and fungi. That is, and clinical picture and pathology, symptoms and pyrophylaxis. The viral disease of fish, one, papillomatosis, lymphocytosis, and third one, infectious parasite, pancreatic necrosis. The bacterial disease of fish, the first one, bacterial hemorrhagic and septamexia. The second one, bacterial gill disease, and third one, columnaris disease. The fungal disease of fish, the first one, Bankylomyosis and Saporogenesis. The unit 12B is infectious parasitic disease and protozoa and metazoan parasitosis. Life cycle, clinical feature, pathology, and symptoms and prophylaxis. The protozoan disease of fish, the first one, caustitis, and second one, viraling disease, third one, ichthyo, ichthyopteris. Metazoan parasites of fish and disease case, life cycle, clinical feature, pathology, symptoms, and prophylaxis, magnogenetic. Trematode parasites and Dactylorus, Gyrodactylus, diplozoan. Digenetic and trematodes, diplo, diplostomia, and sanguinosis cystode parasites. Lingula and Dibruthulus latus. Next one, nematodes and fish leeches, crustaceans, parasites, and fish and dishes. Argulus, Erigulus, lerina. The next one, black food, disease management, uh, polymorphic chain reaction technology, PCR technology. This based is only uh, biomolecules structures. the fundamental DNA structure and primers, probes, nucleus, and introduction to the polymerase chain reaction, the instruments and reagents, and sixth, 16th unit one, electrophoresis. So this is the final is MSc second year, uh, freshwater applied aquaculture. So then next one, mm, so what is the aquaculture? The aquaculture is the prepared by the fishes and principles of aquaculture. Then that is the ichthyology. The so what is the main concept is the aquaculture. So so this is the aquaculture. The meaning is the common definition. The aquaculture is the farming of aquatic organisms like that plants or animals. The source of aquatic animals, the respiration by gills. The specific organs are designed by the gills. So that is the main concept of aquatic animals. The fish culture, the farming, the culture of aquatic animals, fish. So aquatic means any organisms like that plants and animals living and growing and only for the water. So that is called as the aquatic culture. Then fish culture, the farming. So culture of aquatic animals is called to as the fish. Seafood, animals and plant products and freshwater or seawater environments. So what is the sea? Sea means is the ocean. So that is the organization as including to the animals and plants growth in specific zones like the specific water areas. It is called as the seafood. The animal and plant products from freshwater or seawater in environments. The pinfish. Pinfish is forming to the only for fishes. What is the fin? The fin is the body, skeleton of body, the mesh skeleton is called as the fin. Shellfish. Shellfish is covering entire with the bottom and upper layer and inner layer formation of calcium carbonate CaCO3. It is called as the shellfishes. The aquatic invertebrates with a shell, like that, for example, mollusks, crustaceans, and sea urchins. So that is the example. Shell. Shell means the forming of outer layer, the calcium carbonate CaCO3. So that is called as the shellfish animals. So, biological definitions of aquaculture. The aquaculture is man's attempt to, through inputs of labor and energy to improve the yield of useful aquatic organism by deliberate manipulation of their rates of growth, mortality, and reproduction. That is called as the biological definition of aquaculture. So here, the aquaculture is man attempts. So that is a man completely they are taken the interest to the farming of aquatic growth like that plants and animals and shellfishes and pinfishes. So including all, it is called as the aquaculture. This is the own and capable and own knowledge investment to the man through the labor and energy. The improve the yield useful the aquatic organism by deliberate manipulation of their rates of growth and mortality and reproduction. Same at the same time, the aquatic animals in growth in water, at the same time, mortality and reproduction capacity. See, next one, Russell's equations for production of biomes from the fish population. So how do the fish population grow in aquatic areas is given to the Russell's equations. So biomass, the first one, biomass. Bio means in living organisms. Mass means the body. So that is called as the biomass equal to recruitment plus growth and minus mortality minus harvest. So that is the biomass equal equations. These equations gives rise the one of the scientists Russell's through investment in an a aquaculture systems like that the man has choose the variations of the different type of uh, areas like the tanks, ponds, enclosures, etc. So that is the three types of investment of aquaculture systems in the choose the man. And in appropriate husbandry, the aquaculturist attempts to maximize and recruitment and growth and minimize mortality. By contrast, fisheries management is usually an attempt to control any only harvest. So any harvesting like that, aquatic any harvesting like that, animals, plants, and seafoods. So those are attempts and maximum and minimize. So maximum recruitment and growth, and minimize is mortality. Mortality means is death rate. It is called a mortality. The by contrast of fisheries management is usually an attempt to control only harvest. So that is the main harvest to the like that in position. And economical definitions. What is the economic definition in aquaculture? A biological definition says nothing about the flow of benefit from investment in an aquaculture systems. Ray 1979 gives an economist definitions. The aquaculture is production of aquatic organisms from the basis of site leasehold or stock ownership. Leasehold or stock ownership. So that is the main cause of economic definitions in the biological. This is the gives the array definitions like that array definitions. Then next one, the legal definition is the legal definitions of aquaculture are also uh, necessary because the scope of law and applying to aquaculture and need to be set out. The Wilson 1882 in Canada came up with this legal definition. Who is the father of a legal definition? The Wilson. He is belongs to Canada in year of 1982. The main definition of legal definition, uh, aquaculture is the culture or husbandry of aquatic flora and fauna, but does not include the raising or breeding of flora or fauna, a aquarium specimens, B in laboratory experiments, or C by individuals on their own property as food for their own use. So that is the definition of legal definition. Is give the one of the scientists, his name is Wilson in 1982. The Food and Agriculture Organization is head of the Rome, where in country is Italy. The definition of aquaculture, food and agriculture organization, the main is the first one. Aquaculture is the farming of aquatic organization, including fish, mollusks, crustaceans, and aquatic plants. Farming impels some sort of intervention in the rearing process to enhance production, such as regular stocking, feeding, protection from predators, etc. Farming also impels individual or corporate ownership of the stock being cultivated for statistically purpose. The aquatic organisms which are harvested by an individual or corporate body which has owned them throughout their rearing period contribute to aquaculture, while organisms which are exploitable by the public as a common priority resource with or without appropriate license are the harvest of fisheries in Food and Agriculture Organization in 1999. So this is the choose of the aquatic agriculture. So those are images and uh, natural and freshwater and brackish water aquaculture. So the fish and prawns, the aquatic animals, and capturing and supplying these images. So what is the main objectives of aquaculture? The production of protein rich, nutritive, palatable, and easily digestible human food, benefiting the whole society through plentiful food supplies at low or reasonable cost. Second, providing new species and strengthening stocks of existing fish in natural and man-made water bodies through artificial recruitment and transplantation. The production of sport fish and support to recreational fishing, production of bite fish or commercial and sports fishery. The production of ornamental fish for aesthetic appeal, recycling for organic water waste in human and livestock or origin. So this is the main concept of aquatic and land and aquatic resource of utilization. The farming, aquatic farming, how much take the land and measurements and ponds measurements and water type, different type of water and all resourcement utilization. So how they can use it to the utilization of resourcement. The next one, the providing means of sustenance and hearing. The providing of means sustenance and hearing, livelihood and monetary profit through commercial and industrial aquaculture. The next one, production of industrial fish. The production of industrial fish, like that fish meat and fish external resourcement and internal resourcement. So like that, that is called as the production of industrial uh, fishes. Then, what is the characteristics of aquaculture and present status? The main present status characteristics. Characteristics is means in external characters and internal characters and culturing of aquatic characteristics. So that is despite the fact that fish culture is an age old parasites practices old practices in some region of the world, it is relatively new as a significant industry is most countries. The most countries are nowadays the farming to the aquatic culture in naturally because of worldwide human population is nowadays growth rate is high. So because of each and every human being having uh, the depend by the first is a resourcement of protein food, the mostly high hygienious proteins in their fish meat, because the every man need the protein, like that he is a compulsory supplementary food. So that is the main aim of achieve to the uh, characteristics of and growth of the type of feed. So then next one, extensive, the the adaptation of traditional techniques and aquaculture examples, dependence on natural productivity and and control, little control over the stocks. So extensive. So extensive means like that adaptation or traditional. So those are techniques are used by the aquaculture farming man, mad and labor energy that choose the two techniques like the adaptation and the traditional techniques. The aquaculture. For example, dependence on natural productivity and a little control over the stocks. The next one, intensives. So what is the difference in between extensive and intensive? Extensive is adaptation of traditional techniques of aquaculture. So that is called as the extensive. Then intensive, adaptation of full complete of culture techniques, including the scientific pond designs, fertilization, supplemental feeding, or only feeding without fertilization, full measures of stock manipulation, disease control, and scientific harvesting, high level inputs, and high rates of production. So, this is the intensive. Extensive means only for adaptation. Now, traditional techniques is called. Traditional means in aquaculture, man, you choose the only one areas of land and pond and take the some water is growing the one specific common crop fish. So that is the extensive method. Depends on natural productivity and a little control over the stock. This is the only little controlling. Then intensive. Intensive means is perfection. The perfection and perfect like that disease control, fertilization, supplementary feeding, and scientific harvesting and manipulation and full measure of stock, only feeding without fertilization and including scientific font design and technical culture techniques. This complete the depending on that aquatic culture in intensives. Next one, semi-intensives, the adaptation of mid-level technology. So mid-level is is moderated. That is A in beings to the extensive and intensive, middle is semi-intensive. The adaptation of mid-level technology, the partial dependence on natural productivity, fertilization, supplementary feeding with stock manipulation, medium level inputs, and medium rare of production. So medium rare of production like that, this is called as the semi-intensives. So what is the difference in between aquaculture production and the fisheries productions or capture fisheries? So the aquaculture production impulses the human intervention to enhance enhance capa- captive stock, individual cooperative ownership of stock. The fisheries production impulses human intervention to manage and maintain the fish stocks at the natural production levels. The public ownership of stock like that. So this is first one, aquaculture production impulse and fisheries production impulse. The aquaculture production impulse is human intervention to enhance to captive stock and individual cooperative ownership of stock. The fisheries production impulses like that, uh, like that, like that. Fisheries production, human intervention to manage and maintain fish stocks at natural production level. The publications, the publication ownership stock. So that is the difference in between aquaculture and fisheries production. The capture fisheries, hunting, gathering activity, variable recruitment and unpredictable stock size. And third one, uncertain, sustainable level of explorations. And fourth one, difficult, difficult or regulate so that maintain stock sizes. The relatively low productivity, the many of world major capture fisheries range from heavily exploited the heavily over exploited. So that is the main aim of capturing of fisheries. So that is human hunting and gathering activity, the first one. And second one, variable recruitment and unpredictable stock size. So because of stock size of different organisms of different to growing and different time zones, the uncertain sustainable levels of explorations, the difficult of regulating so as to maintain stock sizes and a relatively low productivity because when the uh, when the human culturing of fisheries, uh, the effect of bacterial and fungal and viral disease, and that once upon time of the not controlling the disease, then the time of growth rate of very low because of relatively low productivity, then the time is the production relatively is low productivity. Then many of world major capture fishes range from heavily exploited the heavily over exploited. So worldwide and state-wise, then or including to because of human being naturally the affected to the highly exploited then heavily over exploited. The capture fishes are viruses aquacultures viruses. The mainly yearly productivity increases in dedicated of 1990s less than 1% for capture fisheries compared to 10% for aquaculture. So 1990s, because that time is some techniques are not available like that, breeding and disease control and some scientific methods also. So because that time of the increasing capture of fishes 1% fishes compared to the 10% for aquaculture. Then in China, aquaculture production volume has already uh, superfast capture fisheries production, because that country is well developed of scientific measurements and scientific uh, awareness. Then also the population growth as compared to the all countries is measuring the China is a over population. That because the main food resource of protein food, that is the main cause of depending the fish meat. There is the current trend to use aquaculture production for stock enhancement of wild populations, providing link between aquaculture and fisheries, all to the similar links as I exstated before. So wild, domestic and wild. So domestic is natural growth on the specific crops, the common crops. Then the next one, uh, non domestic and that is called as the uh, wild cultures. So global aquaculture scenario, the world aquaculture has grown 1.02 70.5 million tons last 53 years. The second growth rate is 11% increasing of per year. The China contributes 69.6 percentage, 43 million tons. The Asia Pacific regions 21.9 percentage. The Western European regions contributed 3.5 percentage. Central and Eastern European regions contributed to 0.4 percentage. East North Africa at 0.9 percentage. Sub-Saharan Africa 0.2 percentage. The top five product producers: China, India, Vietnam, Indonesia, and Bangladesh is completing five production 80%. This resource of food and agriculture organization, the headquarter is Italy and Rome. This is the statistical report of year of 2000 to 2008, 2008 to 2013. So this is the global aquaculture scenario. The next organs of aquaculture. The aquaculture developed thousands of years later in China, about 3500 BC. The common crop may have been uh, first fish species cultured. The first aquaculture text written in China about 500 BC. The oysters were formed in Japan about 2000 BC. The oysters means this belongs to mollusca families. The production of fell formation. The fell formation cultures well developed and uh, well in the Japan countries in Asia first country. The aquaculture is in Africa, Americas, and Australia started only within the last several hundred years. So because nowadays the technology is well developed and the scientific knowledge is development, so resourcement is and having the resourcement nowadays, because of some countries are used by the uh, artificial aquaculture production. Reason for late development of aquaculture compared to the agriculture terrestrial agriculture. Interactions between environment and aquatic organisms are not as well as understood as those between environment and terrestrial organisms. So this is the main introduction and main specific zone is the uh, reason for the development of aquaculture compared to the terrestrial agricultures. The interaction between environment and organisms are not as well as understood as those between environment and terrestrial organisms. The main groups of cultured species worldwide. So main groups and cultures. How many groups and cultures and and uh, in a Pacific worldwide. First one, fishes, freshwater and marine species. The fishes are growth in two types and two particular areas. The first one, freshwater fishes and marine water fishes. Next one, molluscus, bivalve and gastropods. Bivalve. Bivalve is increasing of fell formation. That is the oysters, like that oysters, algae, macro and micro algae. Though algae are different types, macro and micro. Macro means is the large organs and micro means is small. The next one, cyprinidae fishes, crabs, and macroalgae dominated world aquaculture productions, but many other species are also target of aquaculture. In China, some 110 species of aquatic animals and plants are cultured. This is the and particular region. The main of fishes. So our syllabus is main is species fishes. Domesticated species breeding based on genetically selected brood stock. The first one, major crops and major crops. Second one, Chinese crops. Third one, common crop. Fourth one, Atlantic salmon. And fifth one, rainbow trout. Sixth one, tilapia. And seventh one, channel catfish. The wild species, all others. So this is the seventh or domesticated species, because the domesticated species, how to recognize to the domestic species? The domestic species recognized by the uh, uh, breeding based on genetically selected brood stock and major crops and Chinese crops, common crop and Atlantic salmon, rainbow trout and tilapia and channel catfishes. Then next one, wild species, all others. So this is the our syllabus in introduction to aquaculture. One type of bivalve animals, molluscus bivalves. The table oysters, primary Pacific oysters, and also European flat oysters. The table molluscus, marine, scalpos, and coquilles. Examples: blood orc and clams. Northern quash and feral oysters and feral formation and freshwater molluscus. So this is the introduction to the see the this image of bivalve oysters is growth in two variation in water like that to freshwater and marine water or brackish water. So this is the formation of fell formation. Fell formation is the one of the ornamental measure ornamental used to the ornamental and um, mm, decoration in the home furnitures. The molluscan gastropods. The molluscans are gastropods uh, abalone, uh, Trochus topsils, Elistotic species, and queen conches, Strombus gyagis. Strombus gyagis. The crustaceans. The main is the crustaceans. The marine shrimps, 12 species of family, Pinacidia, and black tiger shrimp, Asian and Australia, is the black tiger shrimp in only in growth of Pacific regions like that Asia country and Australia country. The Pacific white shrimps, Americas, only Pacific white shrimps in growth in Americans. The freshwater crustaceans, the first one, mitten crabs, China, and freshwater crayfish, crawfish, 12 species. Freshwater prawn, several species, but primarily uh, Macrobium rosebergi, the giant Malaysian prawn. The prawn having the different type of appendages and the growth in prawn in two uh, freshwater fishes and brackish water fishes. The prawn is mainly high resourcement of protein food uh, resourcement of human being. This belongs to prawn crustaceans. Next one, algae. Macroalgae, seaweeds, culture and hundreds of years. Brown seeds, second one red seeds, third one green seeds. The green seeds belongs to chlorophyta because of blue-green algae having the chlorophyll. The chlorophyll synthesis by the uh, ca by carbohydrates. It depends by the sunrise. Rhodophyte as a red seeds is a coloring appear the red color. This is also synthesis by the own food gathering. Then Pheophyte, example, Japanese clip. Then microalgae, diverse taxonomy cultured for last 2-3 decades. Source of high value fine chemicals, carotenoids, and fatty acids, and wastewater treatment, soil conditioners for agriculture, biofuel productions. So this is the use of microalgae and based on four types: soil conditions for agriculture, biofuel productions, and wastewater treatments. See, this is the production of aquaculture, the various types of aquaculture production by the continent like that, Asia, Africa, Europea, and America oceans. So that is here based on sharing global aquatic productions fish percentage and at the same time above figure indicate the Asia have as a clear edge over the other continents and aquaculture production because the middle is because of the Asia like that uh, knowledge of scientific production of aquacultures. The production of aquaculture like that value of aquaculture production by the continents uh, like that aquaculture production by the continent. This is how the 2001 to 2007 compared to the statistical evaluation by the different continents like that Asia, Africa, Europe, America, oceans. The above table and graph is indicate how aquaculture production has remained predominantly and Asian output besides the China and other developing Asian countries also produces sustainable amount of aquatic resource and earn foreign currencies by the exporting them. So each and everything is depends by the behind by the some particular some particular having this particular positioning that is the 2000 year of calculation 2001 to 2007. So this is the comparative value of aquaculture production by the continent to Asia to Americas and year-wise, based on year-wise, because of the developing Asian countries of production sustain amount of aquatic resource, the earn of foreign currencies by exporting them. The each production based on the economical strategies to exporting strategies, because of exporting is the this is main source of economical strategies. So that is the main importance to the them between the foreign currencies and exporting, uh, based on exporting. The next one, this table, they will list for the 10 agriculture producing countries like that. In year 1919 to 2007, this source of statistical source and given to the FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization, headquarter of Italy and Rome. So this is the world total worldwide. The China, India, Vietnam, Indonesia, Thailand, Bangladesh, Norway, Japan, Philippines. So world total worldwide in 1919 to 2007. So trade in aquaculture. The trade in aquaculture in source of FAO statistics, the exports of aquatic production by the different countries and China, Africa, America, European, Asians. The Europe and Asia dominate the export of aquaculture because of well development of continents and at the same time the availability to the transports. So in time, the importance of aquatic production by the different two continents. Europe important highest amount of aquatic production. The next one, export of aquaculture production by the selected countries. The China exports the highest amount of aquatic production, followed by the Thailand and Indonesia and India. So this is the introduction. What is the aim of the aquaculture and how to choose the aquaculture in a scientific method and choose the use the resourcement of human being and at the same time uh, transporting the transport one place A place to B place transporting in time because of nowadays this is the main sources of aquaculture. What is the introduction to the aquaculture, the main of the aquaculture, the benefits of the aquaculture, the characteristics of the aquaculture and the trading in the aquaculture. Then next one, our syllabus, um, uh, fish fish breeding. What is the fish breeding and in the what is the fish breeding into the our syllabus. So fish breeding, the main important of breeding means is the reproductive activity in is the growth of the specific aquatic and specific common craft or scientific crafts like that. First one, brood fish care, the very important of fish breeding. One of the first one, brood fish care. How to breed fish care taken this particular area. The brood fish should be raised and maintained with the stocking rate of 400 to 500 kgs across per acre, 1 acres used by the 400 to 500 kgs species. It is preferable to stock 400 kgs fish per acre because of very easily and highly uh, growth in that is the main located the maintain the stock in 400 kgs is the suitable and growth easily growth of per acres. The different species of fish should be kept in different ponds because the species, same species is growth in the particular area. So different species is the in biting to the lowest of species. So because of and that time of mortality rate is very high. So because each special fishes in special ponds and special zones, growth in special zones. So the different kept in different areas because of seeing the particular zones. Next one, the fertilization of fish farm. The bedding mannering of the brood stock farms be carried out with the 4,000 to 5,000 kgs per acre organic manner. Cow dung, prior to the water filling. So very cow dung means is a excretory feed in cows. That is the cow dung. The rural areas are very common. The cow dung, see the cow dung. The mannering of the brood stock ponds be carried out of the 4,000 to 5,000 kgs per acres per acre organic manner cow dung period of to water filling. The next one, the ponds be periodically fertilized to maintain productivity to describable extent with to 1,000 to 15,000 kgs organic manner and 8 kgs of inorganic aquatic fluctuations of plankton levels. So planktons, zooplankton and phytoplankton. So those are different in growth in aquatic animals. The phytoplankton means in dependent on plants. Zooplankton means in dependent to animals, aquatic animals, growth in aquatic animals. So both are different, but in both are living in characters and aquatic animals. The supplementary feeding. The supplementary feeding of brood stock should be done with rice polish, maize, gluten, and molasses in their ratio. Rice polish, polished rices 7, and maize gluten 2, and molasses 1. So 7 is to 2 is to 1 at the rate of 2 to 3% body weight of stocked fish per day. So this is the supplementary feeding gives to the fishes in for a day 7 is to 2 is to 1 rice polished, maize gluten and molasses. So brood stock of Gair's craft be feed within green powder katla barsen etc. daily as per the recruitment of fish. So katla fish, chartala fish is the common barsen. So brood stock of grass crop be feed with green fodder daily as per the requirement of fish. Breeding. Selection of breeding fish, brood fish. Brood fish selected at the time of induced spawning should be healthy and fully matched. For example, ratio, taken the ratio, male and female, 1:1, male and female, 1:1. So the next one, Vovi, Vovipiram, indexed by for injection of finished brood stock. It is a potent evaluating separating agent of promote and facilitate production of many species of fish. Oviparum induced maintains within a sperm seasons. Advances spawning data, coordinated and synchronized spanning times, increasing millet productions, including increasing sperm count. Inducing maturation of difficult species, inducing spawning in the most important and difficult to span species. It is a stable solution that contains over RH and dopamine inhibitors. The time of ovulation following the injection is highly preparable with the high egg fertility and viability. So those are oviparum is and brooding increasing of brooding levels like the same ratio of male and female. The male increasing of spams and female increasing of ovaries. So both are the this is the very important of oviparum. The ovulation utilizes the fish's own endocrine system to safely induce menstruation and continental spawn dates. When used in the normal spawn cycle, oviform can synchronize and coordinating mutations in treated fish by inducing menstruation without affecting variable of fertility and has been tested and proven effective in a wide range of ornamental fishes species. So those are see this is the like that growth to the Pacific fishes and common fishes. The hormone doses. The oviform means is one of the hormone doses. That is the increasing of hormone doses, male sperm counting and female ovary counting. This is increasing to the Pacific zone. It is the ensure breeding without fail and improve efficiency in breeding results. The hormone doses oviform. It is the ensure breeding without fail and improve efficiency of breeding results. Like that, when the breeding is completely to specific areas, the fish fishes grass carp, the total doses of female 0.6 to 0.7 ml per kg. The doses are hormone doses give to the uh, grass crop 0.7 to 0.7 ml per kg. The total doses of male 0.1 to 0.2 ml per kg. In case of proper maturity of brood stock, preferred dose should be 0 to 6 ml per kg male and 0.1 ml per kg for female. The fertilization is accessed only through stripping after 10 to 12 hours of hormone injections. See, this is the articular notice the big head, male and female, and silver craft, male and female do hormone doses. Then katla kata, tilapia, hormone doses, the range of hormone doses, labio rohita, rohu, the hormone doses and male female, and mori, the doses of male and female hormone doses of this is the measurement of food. So post breeding, what is the post breeding means? Incubation. The incubation circular tank and quantity of eggs 8 lakhs to 10 lakh 10 lakhs 10 lakhs in a tank of 5 sept diameter 5 sept diameter 8 lakhs to 10 lakhs. The circular tank quantity of eggs. The supply of water in circular tank be arranged between 22 to 25 liters per minute. So this is the basic rule and fundamental of post breeding methods. Nursing of hatching. The following the duration of period for nursing of hatchings till those become the first feeding larva and fry. The feeding of yolk fry be avoided hours 70 to 80 hours 80 to 96 water temperature 27 to 28 centigrade and 25 to 27 centigrade This is the post-breeding methods, nursing and hatchery and feeding of yak tribe be avoided and hours. So this is the main important role in breeding. So next one, hand stripping is commonly used to taking the span of many species of fish. Brood fish are separated by sex period or hormone injection. To prevent spawning in the holding tank, it is important to determine the extracted time of ovulation when hand stripping. The second method is however, the eggs of cold water species may remain viable for several days after ovulation. For example, in trout, eggs are usually stripped within 3 to 4 days. The eggs of some species, such as stripped based and white based, progressively clear to become the transparent as they near ovulation. So ovulation means the eggs ovulation means the eggs incubated to in the farming water when the temperature is 24 degrees Celsius to 27 degrees Celsius. This is the best and choose the temperature of ovulation by the eggs. The eggs are taken more than 15 hours before ovulation cannot be accurately stated using this method. For most species, ovulation can best be verified by checking the female to determine when eggs flow freely from the event. The eggs are taken more than 15 hours before ovulation because once started the ovulation process, this function is will be started to the embryos. So before then catch the before the ovulation before 15 hours, then take the specific areas and specific temperature, including the mention of temperature like that to 24 degrees Celsius to 27 degrees Celsius. That is the best and the ovulation temperature areas. The artificial reproductions. How to the artificial reproduction? See, this is the image of a fish. This is the area of lateral vein, the bottom of ear, the collection of ovulation. See, the about 1 hour before stripping, the sperm must be obtained from a male spanner. So the ovulation is female eggs collecting before 15 hours. The male 1 hour before stripping, the sperm must be obtained from a male spanner. The attempts to strip catfish males to collect my milt have not been successfully. This is probably due to the anatomical structure of the seminal vesicles. Therefore, milt is obtained by the sacrifice, sacrificing one male and disconnecting the testis. At least 1 hour period to the earliest anticipated time of spanning, females fish are captured and the process of checking to verify ovulation is intested. The tropical species are usually checked every 15 minutes until ovulation is verified. Temperate water species are usually checked every hour. The water activities, the sperm, and also cases the opening through which is the sperm enters the egg microphyly to close. For many fish, those closure takes place within only 45 to 60 seconds. Just only pick the 45 to 60 seconds, the collecting the sperm and ovaries. This is the artificial reproduction methods. The preparation of fry ponds. The how to prepare the fry ponds in the particular areas and particular zone. The pond should be sun dried before the breeding schedule is commenced. To ensure the dysfunctions of pond soil, dry manner is preferable. Fill the pond with water to a depth of 1.5 feet to 2 feet and maintain it. The addition of water should be managed just after the pond is fertilized. Observe the production of microfauna after 48 hours of fertilization and add insecticides 0.5 to 1 parts per million. In case dry pond is not available, net out of the stock from the fry receiving pond after as the possible, reduce the water to minimum possible level. So this is the preparation of fry food, how to the preferred by the breeding areas of location and resourcement, using the resourcement of particular temperature and pond and water, choose the particular places. Then fill the pond water in depth of feet 1.5 to 2 feet water and levels. The maintain the temperature of 27 degrees Celsius, 24 degrees Celsius to 27 degrees Celsius, and 48 hours of fertilization. In insecticides, 0.5 parts per million of insecticides like that. The pond should be fertilized with organic manner. Cow dung, the very important cow dung, very important because of organic manner, and 4,000 to 5,000 kgs are across, subject to qualitative and quantitative functions and plankton levels. Then next one, the temperature. The main depend by the temperature. The at the temperature of 25 to 30 degrees Celsius in moderate of 48 hours of fertilization, protozoans and rotifers starts of appearing after 72 hours. The first food protozoans and rotifers are produced fat fairly abundant. Only insecticides mild toxicity preferable or organophosphate group be used. Check toxicity of the insecticide after 48 hours of its addition period to release to stock several survival of fry in a simple of water collected from the treated pond up to 4 hours will give satisfactory results. So our maintain the particular location and particular pond, the measurements, all measurements like that, cow dung, temperature, and growing of protozoans and rotifers, and 48 hours of addition period of release the stock survival in satisfactory of fund and satisfactory results, then give to the next opinions. The rate of stocking 4 lakhs fry 4 lakhs under 4 lakhs of across at the time of stocking. Fry care should be taken to ensure acclimatization of a fry with fond water temperature. The acclimatization means is the maintain the specific conditions to under specific areas. So that is called as the particular maintain the ratios. Start rising water levels of pond by 2 to 3 per day till it reaches the depth of 3 feet after the stocking of try. The fourth one, the start of feeding fry, the artificial feeding after 10 to 14 days stocking of fry. The, this is the give the supplementary food in 10 to 14 days. The fifth one, the feed ingredients may include rice polish, maize, gluten 30%, in pin powdered from within the ratio of protein 8:1 respectively, at the rate 5% to total weight of Friday per day. The sixth one, start fertilization of the pond with 1,000 to 15,000 kgs cow dung and 8 kgs of inorganic fertilizer, subject to the quantitative and qualitative fluctuations of plankton levels. So this is, see, this is total breeding by stripping method. So those four images, how to the collection of ovulation and sperms and male and female fishes. This is the images and breeding. Then how to the collecting of the common breeding in tilapia. And tilapia is the common fish, and nowadays use the uh, easily growth and highly specific proteins available in this. The intention, tilapia are group of African freshwater fish that exhibit parental care. So very important, parental care fishes and parental care animals like that amphibians and fishes are very important to those are particularly in using. They are widely cultured in tropical and subtropical countries. Tropical and subtropical. Tropical means is the environmental conditions is moderated, and environmental condition is the sustainable to the subtropical countries. The tilapia is buried naturally in ponds and growth in particular ponds and tanks, lakes, estuaries, reservoirs, and span year of round. An important of food fish and commands high price in the international markets. The international markets as also high market and the economical growth are the specific areas and the specific zones. The distribution and importance of tilapia. The tilapia belongs to the family Chilicidae and order of Periciformes. The noun as aquatic chicken. The very common noun is the name is aquatic chicken. What is the animal? The tilapia, the noun as the aquatic chicken. Due to it is a fast growing nature, delicacy, deliciously ability to convert to natural food into flesh very efficiently and options to intermuscular bones can be cultured in freshwater, brackish water, and salt water. So those are growth in three regions and three areas like that: freshwater, marine water, and brackish water. Can be cultured in three regions at the same time grows in 500 to 600 grams in 6 to 8 months. The body elongate fairly deep and compressed upper porphyro more convex than lower. The mouth large, longest, soft dorsal ray extending to above proximal part of caudal fin in females and immature males. Caudal fin truncate often with rounded corners. Females and non-breeding males watery gray to yellowish. Within 3 to 4 dark blotches often apparent along flanks. The body of males during the breeding season deep black, lower part of the head chalky or clay grayish white, upper lip bluish. The dorsal fin black within the red margin. The pectoral fin translate a red caudal fin with a brooding red margin. So this is the identify the characteristics of tilapia when the collecting the uh, ovulation and sperms in the particular species of tilapia. So food and feeding. How to give the food and feeding this particular uh, herbivores feeding and algae and detritus. So what is the herbivores? Herbivores means in the taking the food, green leaves, collecting the green leaves and taking the green leaves. It's called the herbivores. So feeding the herbivores means the green leaves means like that algae. Algae have the synthesis of chlorophyll. Then synthesis of own feeding food carbohydrates by the sunrises sunrises. So because of this is the algae, blue green algae, GBA, blue green algae, then it is called as to the herbivores food. So that is the herbivore. Herbie means is green leaves. Green leaves, taking the green leaves called as the herbivores. The based on parental care, tilapias are grouped into. This is the main this genetic the main this species characteristics of main characteristics of parental care. Very important. Parental care say choose some invertebrates families like that amphibians. So amphibians is a invertebrates like this. Uh, uh, 1 second. Sorry for the disturbance. So the food feeding the main for harvesters, the maternal mouth brooder examples uh, like that ornamentus mosquitoes nactilucus is the maternal. The next one parental or biparental mouth brooders example streptococcus galosis and macrophage individual. Substrate spans and tilapia zill. So this is the this is the two images very important of Nactylus and Archomuscobius. See next one broodstock development. How to the broodstock development in Pacific areas and Pacific zones. The brood fish and maintain in cement cisterns with a protein-rich commercial diet. Then tilapia may mature in 3 to 4 months of tropical country like India. They produce the 500 to 1,000 eggs brood per female. The males grow much faster than female and exhibited terrestrial behavior. So that is the terrestrial behavior. and important role of the terrestrial behavior. So see, this is the specific images to a figure of tilapia, how to growth of tilapia in areas and the tilapia breeding cages. So this is the in brooding cages in around the net and Pacific region and Pacific places. So this is the growth of red tilapia brood stock. So this is the third images. There tilapia red brood stock in the particular areas. So next one, the mature brood stock is identified based on their secondary sexual characters as the details below. The characters and male and female and how to the difference in between to the male and female characters and the when the brooding seasons, the body colorations, the male and female, the male dorsal and lateral sides are darker and then the ventral regions, then female dull and gray throughout the body. The size and shape, the male elongated belly not inflated larger, female is stout belly in inflated smaller. Genital opening, the male papilla elongated and pointed, female round and blunt wide. The pins, the male margins on dorsal anal and caudal pins, rod dorsal pin extended beyond in the caudal pedicles. The female, the fins without red margins. The dorsal pin does not extend beyond the caudal punals. The mouth and male narrower and female wider. So this is the mature broodstock in identify based on their secondary sexual characters in the details to male and female the tilapia species. The mature of male and female are related to comment cistern one one at the ratio of 1:3 to 4. The male builds a nest on the bottom and in native a female or mating. The third one, after spanning the females collecting fertilized eggs in her mouth and levels of the nest. The male intensives another female for a similar act. Likewise, one male can mate with the several female within a short period. So that is the ratio of the particular in brooding time of the particular regions. See the hatching of eggs. How to the hatching in the tilapia species. The developing eggs are followed allowed to the hatches there in the mouth of the female are removed and kept or hatching in jars with the running water. The second one, the stock density of eggs is 5,000 eggs per liter. The eggs hatches in 3 days, 3 days at the temperature of 20 degrees Celsius to 28 degrees Celsius, 28 degrees. That is the best and good temperature in the hatching of eggs. The fry rearing. The Yorkshire fry is reared in the prepared regular trays of 40 into 25 into 10 centimeter made of aluminum or plastic with running water. So this is the rearing methods of preferred by the regular trace. So the regular trace are measurements in 45 in 40 into 25 into 10 centimeters made of aluminum or plastic with running water. The oxac is completely absorbed in 8 to 10 days. Next one, after about 20 days, the fry are transferred to prepared nursery fond for the non-growing to uh, fingerling stages. The fry are fed with crumbles 40% proteins. See, these images of the particular action and particular images of tilapia. So this is the fry rearing. Also, these are all the breeding of tilapia. This is the common breeding of craft Synapsus carpio. See, this is image of male. So Cyprus carpio. Distribution in importance of common crop. The common crop. The common crop belongs to the family Cyprinidae and order Cypriformis. Cypriformis. The Cypri carpio is native to Central Asia and is very widely distributed all over the world. Ranked third among the farmed finfishes in the world, next only silver crab and grass crab. Introduced into India in 1939 from Germany, Germany strains. It is an ideal species for the aquaculture. The breeds naturally in ponds, tanks, reservoirs, etc. and spawns year round with two peaks, two peaks, two peaks of only breeding February, March, and the other during the such western monsoon. Grows to over 1 kg of 1 year. So this is the common breeding introduced the Germany in 1939. This based on the particularly this growth in all common areas like that to freshwater, marine water, and brackish water. So care of brood stock. Broodfish reared in matured pond initially feed with the conventional feed. As the maturity advances, they are fed with a special feed consisting of rice bran, oil cake, fish meals, cereals, grams, and minerals and vitamin mixtures. The mature 4 to 6 months in a tropical country can span in the found in the presence of birds, pigs, etc. So this is the see these two images is the figure one a hoggle as common crop brooders. This is the figure two common crop hatched by the hydrilla beginning released to the fond of hatching. The ants sex-wise segregations and rearing them in separated font is necessary to avoid the accidental spanning. The prevalence of 0.5 to 1.20 lakh of eggs per kg females. The females grow slightly faster than males. The water sprinkles provided in the sparrow spansery and common crop span ready for stocking in the nursery fund. So two images. See, this is the two images. How the first image is water sprinklers provided in spanway. Then second one, the common crop span ready for stocking a nursery fund. So those are two images clearly observed to the water sprinkles used to the uh, span growth and already growth fund stocking is the image second one. The selection of brood fish and breeding techniques. The artificial breeding is undertaken to enhance fry survival. The common crop is an Encrominus multiple spanners, releasing eggs in batches. Matches brood stocks is identified based on their morphological characters. Male has round abdomen and whitish genital openings. Ojos milt when pressured is appealed on abdomen. The female is shorter with a soft and swollen abdomen. A few ova may ojo out when pressures in applied on abdomen. The measurements of male and females are released at the ratio of 2:1 in a cement cistern with running water. So this is the selection of brood fish and breeding techniques and to the common craft. The common craft breeding is introduced by the Germany in 1939. Uh, so that days of the particular regions. The aquatic plants like the hydrilla or Valsinaria and Echinoria, etc. released as the substance in the cistern for the attachment of eggs. So that is the aquatic plants used to the hatching of eggs in the in water of the particular species of Hydrilla, Valsinaria, and Echinoria. The plants are the differentiated within the solutions of uh, KMNO4 ammonium phosphates and use it to the ratio of 1:2 female and substance. In Southeast Asian countries, coconuts and plant fibers, normally coconut or palm, nailed between two species of bamboo as the substance of the attachment of eggs. See, this is the first one, hydrilla. The second image is Valsnaria and Echino, Echaio, Ecornia, Icornia. So Icornia, Valsnaria, Hydrilla. So those three plants species of use of attachment of eggs in benthonic water. So next one, the type of female brooder is taken before and after spawning in order to estimate the quantity of eggs released to along 5 to 10% towards the loss of weight due to the extent. When the male and female, the time, when the brooding time, the loss of weight to 5 to 10% of towards the loss of weight due to the extract. The total quantity of eggs released can be calculated using the formula. So when the calculation collection of the eggs, that is the one of the calculation, loss in weight in grams into 700, where 700 is the number of eggs per a ovary weight. So ovary weight, so that is the indifferent between to the total measurement to mass weight of male and female when is the brooding time. Then after spanning, the brooders are removing from the tank, distributed and transferred to a prepared up pond. So then front prepared of the pond also. This is a measure to the particular event. The hatching of eggs. How to the hatching of the eggs? The developing the eggs which are hatched to the substance are transferred to the hatching hopper or circular tank for hatching where running water is maintained. The eggs are achieve small 1 to 2 millimeter diameter with narrow prevalent species spherical and pale yellow petalized. The unfertilized eggs are opaque white. So the stock density of eggs on 50,000 to 1 lakh eggs per APA. The measurements of pond and 2 into 1 into 1 meter are 25 to 30 eggs per circular hatching tank. The eggs hatching in the good and best temperature is 36 to 72 hours and temperature is 26 to 31 degrees Celsius. The newly hatched span is heavy, remain hatched to Hapa wall 5 to 6.5 4 to 5 0.6 millimeter along with permanent ice. The yaksak spans remain the hapa or tank till to becomes the free swimming. Yaksak is completely absorbed in 3 to 4 days. A rearing, a rearing after the yaksak after the yaksak after the axon just type after the axon is substance as span is transferred to the prepared necessary pond for on growing fry filtering eggs. In the nursery pond, the span is feed the mature of the rice in the cakes. They are each the trial stages and 5 to 15 days. Thank you everyone. If you have any doubt, please make the message for me. And then next classes, second unit of genetically preformed to the aquaculture and disease control measures and distinctions of the particular pieces like that common crop and tilapia. So that is so. Thank you everyone. Thank you.